Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the P-Wing. As many of you know, I love indie games. It's a small developer team often, and you can feel the love, you can feel the passion behind the games. And tomorrow, there will be a big game released for Nintendo Switch physically. The game has been out digitally for some months, I think, and I have bought it on the digital way. But tomorrow we will get the physical version, and I'm lucky that I got it a day before time. I think out of Europe it already had been released as a physical version, but tomorrow it's the day in Europe we all can get it and play it, and that is Tunic, the physical version of this masterpiece of a game. I really recommend you to pick up the physical version. And if you saw my last video, I was talking about how much physical games mean to me, but this time it's not just because I'm nostalgia by physical games and I like to have it in my hands, and I really think that the physical version of Tunic is getting better if you have it on this way. And I will explain why the physical version of Tunic is better than the digital version. But before we do that, I have to talk about Hollow Knight. And you can think it's pretty random. Why do I talk about Hollow Knight? It's not the same genre. This is a Metroidvania. This is more like a Zelda-like game with puzzles and Dark Souls combat. Yeah, that's true. But I think it's funny that these two games remind me so much of each other. And why do I think that? It's because both games are very difficult. Yeah, you can look at this cover and think, oh, it's cute, it can't be that hard. Trust me, this game is hardcore. It's like Zelda with Dark Souls elements, and if you have played Death's Door, it's like Death's Door with more colors. And a little bit better in my opinion. Hollow Knight is a Metroidvania game, and I think this is one of the best Metroidvania games of all time. Some of you may think it's the best Metroidvania games, and I can understand if you think that. This is also one of the best games of all time, so it's a pretty good game. But one of the complaints many have with Hollow Knight, and I know one of my friends have played Hollow Knight 3 times. He had tried to play Hollow Knight. He has tried to play Hollow Knight 3 times, and every time he has sold his physical copy and was saying, no, it's not for me. And I know that my friend Lasse, him and I have the same taste in games often. He liked Pokemon. I'm not that into Pokemon, but otherwise he loves Xenoblade, he loves Zelda, he loves Eastwards, one of my favorites. He loves many of the games I really love. And I've tried to tell him many times, you really have to give Hollow Knight you cannot say second chance because you have done that, but fourth chance. And he has bought it too. He has bought it again, and that warms my heart. And one of the complaints some have got with Hollow Knight is because it's too difficult to find out the layout of the game. And I can feel that. I understand that, because in the beginning you're very lost in the game. You don't have any map. You don't have an icon where you are at the map. When you start the game, you have to go underground and explore the world on the side. You have to explore the underground. And you explore it, and it's pretty hard. You have to look around. It's a Metroidvania, so you have to find hidden areas, and you will meet a guy who sells a map for you. And when you buy that map, you can see where you have been, but you cannot see where you are at the map. You have to get some emblems so you can equip them, so you can see where you are at the map. And that can be pretty annoying at the beginning, but trust me, when you came over that barrier, the game unfolds, and I think it's pretty. I love that you are lost at the beginning and you ending up to have the best overview over the world and the enemies, and I can understand why the beginning can be very difficult for many, because you will get lost. And the reason why I compared these two games is because if you feel lost in Hollow Knight, and I didn't feel lost, but I still think that the physical version solved that problem, the feeling of lost in the game. And I started to play this game as a digital version, and I love it. I played through the whole game, also the DLC, and I think it's one of the best games. But if you, as many others, as Lasse, think it's pretty tough to get around, and when you die you have to pick up your soul again, I think that the physical version will help with the problem, that it will be an easier playthrough. As you can see, I opened the, you couldn't see it, but when you open the box, you can see there is a map. And that map is the problem for many gamers, because they don't have a map. And you can say, okay, does it destroy the magic around the world to open up the world and see where all the different areas are? Yeah, it can be destroyed, but if it ends up that you won't play the game, if you don't have a map, I will say use the map that comes with the physical version. Because on the map, you have a view over the whole world. And one of the things many people complain about Hollow Knight, they try to give it a chance but don't like it, is they feel lost. Now you have an overview over the world, and it's easy to find around. And I really think that will help a lot of people who got stuck in the digital version and really want to try to see why all the magic, why all the talk about Hollow Knight, why is this such a great game, we want to feel the magic too, try to pick up the physical version. It really helps a lot to come into the game. And if you feel, okay, I have a control over the map now, I will put it away, I will recommend you do that and just explore the world, because I think you get the most authentic feeling of the game if you don't look at that map. But if you feel lost and really want to try the game, pick up the physical version and look at the map. And then we have Tunic. Tunic, as the whole video is about, Tunic is a game that's so difficult. And you can look at the front cover and it looks like Zelda. Who are we kidding? It looks like Zelda. He have a great green tunic. He had a sword and a shield. He is in a forest like the Lost Wood. It reminds you of Zelda. You can destroy Tunic when you buy the physical version and if you use it incorrect. Or you could get an even more authentic feeling for the game if you do it correctly. And some of you may think, what are you talking about, Daniel? The whole world is very mysterious, and that's the magic about the game. That the world is mysterious. The great thing about Tunic is that you collect pages around the world that will end up being the manual in the game. And you can push select on the controller, and then you open up the manual, and you can scroll through the pages, and every pages give you a little hint for some cryptic solution for a puzzle that you will find in the manual, and you have to collect all the pieces. Then you can see, oh, you have to get to pages 27 to understand what this item does, because on page 3 they talk about, if you want to know more about this item, turn to page 27, but you don't have to page 27 yet, so you are thinking, oh, I have to wait till I get that page. And now I will tell you why you have to pick up the physical version. And yeah, it's more expensive, the physical version, almost double the price. So yeah, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's difficult to understand why do I pick up the physical version when I can get it much cheaper digitally. You get some, you get a manual, you get the map, and you get some stickers and things like that. But that's not the reason, and you get a cool front cover. But the big reason to why you have to pick up the physical version is that you get the whole manual in the game. The manual you have to collect pieces for in the in-game, and I think it's so cool to have it in front of you. It reminds me of Star Tropic. I don't know if any of you have played that game, but it's an original game for the Nintendo Entertainment System, where you were stuck at a puzzle where you have to put a letter in a water, and that letter you got in the physical version of Star Tropic. You have to put down get it wet, and then you saw a code, and you can use that code in the game to get through the game. And I thought it was such a magic touch. In this game, you get the whole manual, so you can play it. Ooh, I get goosebumps. You can play this game and get a lot more, and you could get a more authentic version of the game. And you can play the game and cheat. And that's the sad thing about the physical version. You really have to do it correctly, because you could get the physical version and look through the manual and solve the puzzles and know things you didn't have to know yet. But if you do as me, and that will really make the experience more authentic for me, do it as me. When you collect a large page in the game, take the physical manual and just look at that page. Don't cheat, don't look forward and look at the secret pages you have to find later in the game. And then you can say, then why don't you just look at the in-game manual? Then you don't have to think about cheating and things like that. As I told you in the last video about physical, why I love physical games is because I love to have it in my hands. I love to see the page. I love to touch it. Love to have it in my hands. And when you have the manual in the hands, it reminds me of Star Trek back in the old days, where I could put some water on the page and then see the solution, or now have a manual, and then okay, I can turn over to page 5, and then I look in page 5 and I feel I have to, I get goosebumps. I fucking love this kind of things. You can just turn up to page 5 and then see, wow, I'm in touch with the game. It's so authentic, it's so in my face. All the surroundings around me just closing down. It's just me and the game and the manual and the magic around the whole things. And I can't wait to play this game tomorrow with the manual. I have to drink my coffee. The coffee is cold right now. And then just turn up to page 5 and see what you have to do, and then lay away the manual. And I hope I say manual correct in English. I don't know actually. And I think tomorrow when I play the game, I will have a more authentic version of the game. I really love it. The game is good anyway. But when I get the physical manual in my hands and I can... It's like in the old days where you was looking through the Nintendo Power magazine to get help through things, and or you have played Metroid 1 for the Nintendo Entertainment System and you didn't have a map. And then your good friend and you was... was writing down the corridors and which way to go, and you have it in front of you, and the magic to look down on the paper and see how you lay out the map. I feel that when I'm playing Tunic and I'm looking at the manual, just to get that feeling of you're playing with the game. You are in touch with the game. Some of you may think it's so... It doesn't matter if I play it and look at the manual in the game or I have it in front of me. I feel that you have the physical manual in front of you and you have to scroll through the pages in real time will make the game more magical. I really think you will get more in touch with the game. I think you really will feel more connected with the game. Tunic is a masterful game. And I think when I play the game tomorrow, sitting down in the darkness, my girlfriend is sleeping, it's just me and the game. I put my headphones on, hear the lo-fi music. Oh, the music is so good. And then I found a lost page. It says page 5. I look up at page 5 and then I solve a puzzle. That is, ladies and gentlemen, magic in a game. Dang, I can't wait to play this game. I really recommend you all to pick up the physical version. Yeah, it's a bit more expensive, but I think it's worth it to get a more authentic feeling for the game. And if you don't care about the manual and think it's stupid, trust me, the manual has a big future in the game. The manual has a big spot in the game. It means a lot for the game, because when you talk about manual, it doesn't matter. In this game, it does matter. So please try to pick up the physical version if you have the money to it, or don't care about the 25 more money you have to give for it, because I think it's worth it, and it's beautiful cover and just a magic game. I can't wait to play the game. Thank you so much for watching the video. I can't wait to play this game, and yeah. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Consider to subscribe to the P-Wing. That will help a lot. And I know many of you think it's stupid, but I say it anyway. If you know somebody who loves a person talk about Nintendo and it's very simple and I'm just talking, recommend the YouTube channel to some of your friends if you know anyone who love it. I really want to reach 1,000 subscribers, and I'm very close, so that will be a huge goal. But anyway, thank you so much and have a great day. This was Daniel from the P-Wing. Love you all. Purple love. Bye.